Sangiovese and Cinsault, but today we're going to be tasting one of his wines made purely from the Muscat grape. This is often used in sweeter wines, but in Randall's unconventional hands, what will we have in store?
Screw cap. Again.
What is it?
This is called Moscato Giallo. It's kind of an obscure Muscat grape variety.
So will this be quite sweet?
Teeny bit sweet, not too much.
Muscat comes from up sort of Alsace way, doesn't it?
That's one place. That's where the dry stuff comes from. It's delicious up there. More likely to come from around the Mediterranean.
Oh, this has got a slight hint of Parma violet in it.
Ah, good.
Is that right?
Very nice, very nice.
I'd enjoyed...
Lovely grapey quality. Now, when you're talking about why don't wines taste of grapes?
That does taste of grapes.
This one does, doesn't
yes.
it? One of the few.
See, I quite like wines that you just drink as wines. I know there's this, cult of matching food and wine, and that's all very clever, but I like the idea of a wine that I will sit and drink and, as you would say, it will just very briefly transform my life and reveal to me something that wasn't there before, as if holes in pieces of paper temporarily line up and allow me to see further and then sort of close again. It's that thing. You know what I mean, though?
More or less.
Now who's gone all hippie?
Like the infinity of space, and very briefly you think, yes, well, oh no, it's gone. Randall might wear challenging spectacles and sport a ponytail, but don't be fooled. This hippie winemaking has bought him this luxurious home, where he's kindly invited us to a soiree.
The whole objective of it seems your life in wine is to instill in the wine your personality and the personality of the place that these grapes came from, and wind them all together in a beautiful sort of fandango, which seems to go on forever and last. But I mean,
oh God, not again.
Real wines are subtle. They're fragile. They're like gifted children that don't really belong in the mainstream. They really, I think, are wines that are appreciated by a very small number of people.
There seems to be an enormous rising tide of these big brands. I don't mind they exist, but I start saying to myself, can we live with them? Can we fight against them? Or can we benefit from them?
Can a consumer who is exposed to sort of good, well-made, essentially ordinary wine make this leap of imagination into extraordinary wine? Does that ever happen? I wonder. I don't know.
I quite like those simple, cheap wines in the same way that I quite like eating spam. I like eating this very nice, very sophisticated food as well. It's lovely, but I do quite like eating spam, as indeed you do, if you're honest, and you like a pie, and you like a Cornish pasty from the petrol station, and you like those stupid crisps, and you quite like Captain Crunch. You do like all that stuff, don't you? Be honest. I'm not going to buy into this idea that, the world is being brought to its knees by marketing and giant corporations. They're just making drinks, and they're introducing more people to drink, and they're establishing a culture of wine drinking that allows the frankly arty-farty stuff at the top to exist. Tomorrow we're going to meet this man, I think they call him $2 Chuck, who believes that wine is too expensive, and he's made a wine for the general public to consume at a very low price. Now, I'm absolutely sure it won't be a brilliant wine, but the fact is I like his attitude, and I'm very keen to meet him because he understands that wine has to be of the people first.
So it seems all my attempts to educate James about the art of fine wine blending have fallen on deaf ears. And now, against my better judgment, it's time to go to the other extreme as we head inland from Santa Cruz. We've got an appointment with Fred Franzia of the Bronco Wine Company, which he set up in 1973 and which now produces over 200 million litres of wine a year. Look at that! It's a waterfall! This cannot, oh, don't do this! It's impossible for this, really like that, to make top quality wine.
This is the bit that the old world could never do because they had too many hang-ups. The new world can also do the intellectual fine wines at high prices, probably as well as anybody, given time. But they should be the masters of this because they have the mentality.
In 2002, Fred began marketing the Charles Shaw label, selling it for next to nothing. The brand's become known as $2 Chuck, a nickname that stuck to Fred too. He's Mr. Big around here, but he kindly found a small window for us.
Are you a wine buff, or are you an industrialist?
I'm a money maker. I like to think that we're charging a fair price for our product. Some people call it low price. Some people even use the word cheap. But we think we're charging a fair price to the consumer for the product we've producing, and in fact, the consumer enjoys it.
How much is your wine?
So you can buy it in the store for $2.
Is this any good at $2?
Now you're going to start a fight. I mean, whose word do you want to take? Mine, or you want to take the state fair that just judged it as a double gold, best of class?
Well, I was fishing for you to say, well, I'll open it and you can try.
No, we don't give anything away for $2.
Well, I'll give you $2 for it.
I've got one, James.
No, you guys keep your money. We'll taste it.
No, we got it. We've got the
$2
money.
is a fair
American
price.
You got $1?
Yeah, somewhere.
Okay, that's my half. Can Two Buck Chuck last as a brand?
Well, when we first came out with it, that question was asked. We've now sold 300 million bottles since we started it, and we're not slowing down yet.
Who do you think is the best winemaker?
Well, the best proven winemaker is Jesus Christ, and we can't get him to come back here to show us all his methods.
Probably because the prices are too high.
He probably likes our prices. He might come back for us. I don't know if he'll come back for anyone else. He fed the masses, right?
Yes.
That's what we want to do.
You might not have heard of Two Buck Chuck as it's only sold in the States, but if you buy an own brand California wine from a supermarket, it's probably come from one of these very tanks. Each one holds 1 million bottles.
And that is a very big wine fact. It's time for the moment of truth. We are about to try the least expensive wine on sale in America. If this is revolting, I'll have to go home. And Oz Clarke and his posh mate will have won.
Two Buck Chuck Chardonnay is the one that makes it really makes the waves and now sells inordinate amounts of wine.
Okay, £1 a bottle. It's not £10. I'm not doing it for
It's
£5.
£1.
For you, darling, it's £1. It's all right, actually.
It's a perfectly decent, obvious Chardonnay. Now,
This is a Merlot. Oh, it's not bad, is it?
it's not bad. It tastes like Merlot.
I think that wine, which is a California Chardonnay, no more specific than that, I think that has a sense of place. That tastes to me of America. It's not that complicated, it's not that difficult, it's not as intellectual as Gary Madhead's wine, but it's perfectly drinkable, it's a very reasonable price, and you know it's never going to run out.
I'm so glad you're pleased, James. But the beauty of wine is there is something for everyone, leaving room for all sorts of winemakers.
No.
Millionaires with expensive hobbies, wine gurus at the top of their game, and even Two Buck Chuck himself.
God bless America.
Next time, it's all about Zinfandel, Original Zin, California's very own grape.
Forbidden fruit?
Forbidden fruit?
So pour yourself a glass as we put our winemaking expertise to good use. Would you like to try my blend that I've made?
Sure, I would love to.
We bring English class to the streets of San Francisco.
Old cigarette stuff. And our next wine challenge comes with a stomach-turning forfeit. It's disgusting, isn't it?
No job or friends? Find out more about the blended wines featured in this programme somewhere on bbc.co.uk/food.
And the first series of Oz and James' Big Wine Adventure is now available on DVD. Heston's with us next, doing some bizarre things with fish to create the perfect pie. And later, brand new for BBC Two, the epic story of the forces that shape our world. Earth, the power of the planet, is at 9.